Hi everyone, and thank you so much for clicking onto this video today as I take you on another week in the life of a medical student. My name is Ashima and you're watching my channel Aesthetic Academic. I'm in week 2 of my second year of a 4-year Doctor of Medicine program. Year 2 is our first year in a hospital, so there's a lot of firsts happening this year. Some standout moments from this week were talking to our first patient on the ward.
Suddenly it's just bang, everything's been going on, the pain, couldn't move, struggle to walk and anything.
Attending our first surgery, oh my god.
I literally watched someone slice someone open and then remove their intestines. Like, that's fucked up.
And a Friday so bad that it was hilarious.
Yeah, I was just trying to do a wheelie in the alleyway. I don't know what happened.
For anyone who's new here, I started this channel because a few years ago I actually got kicked out of university. And then a few years after that, I managed to get accepted into a medicine program. So I thought that was a pretty sweet 180 and a story of hope that was worth sharing. So subscribe to my channel if you want to feel good about dreaming big, irrespective of how you've performed in the past. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to get in touch, I respond to all of my Instagram DMs.
I have nailed this morning and I'm so proud of myself. It's currently almost 9 o'clock, so my first lecture I have to listen to is at 9. And I've already been to the gym, made some pretty sad looking lunch. And yeah, I just feel really good. Had a good workout. Today we have our placement day, which means we're expected to go down to the wards, but we also have lectures today as well. So we're going to be popping down in between our lectures to actually talk to some patients. I know that our expectation for what we are doing on the ward is very low. I think so long as we can get comfortable talking to patients, I think it's mission accomplished. But then we can also, if we're feeling really keen, do whatever. Like if we want to practice our physical exams, we can do that as well. There's a bit of confusion within my group about what we're supposed to be doing today. And I think that what I'm understanding about this degree is that it's almost entirely self-regulated, which is why it's so confusing. So for example, in undergrad you get a time when you have your tute, but now we have to message our tutor and organise a time for our own tutes. Also, the only instruction that we have is that we need to go down to the wards and talk to patients, and that's it, and then we have to do the rest ourselves. It resembles more closely a job than it does a uni degree. One day she'd woken up and she had total body pain and she couldn't walk properly. And then she came to the hospital, and ever since that happened 3 years ago, she's been in a lot of pain. It's just a big unknown. They don't know why that happened.
I'm still coming back to what you said about how crazy the human body is, because it was just suddenly it's just bang, everything's been going on, the pain, couldn't move, couldn't struggle to walk and anything. It seems pretty scary. It's been so long as well, and can't imagine going through that and not having a proper solution and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She had such an amazing attitude. I couldn't believe it. She was just
so positive.
Positive. Definitely have something to learn from her and her attitude towards it.
Definitely.
When we were talking to her and she seemed extremely positive, but then when we were leaving, we thought we'd look over her patient history files just to familiarise ourselves with it. On her notes, it said that she also had depression and anxiety, which makes perfect sense because who wouldn't after going through that? But it just sort of surprised me because I didn't notice it all, and yeah, you would think that you would notice stuff like that, but we didn't.
Yeah, completely didn't pick up on that one.
Yeah. How was approaching a patient compared to how scary you thought it was going to be?
My brain definitely made it to seem like it was so much scarier, but it's actually not. They're actually really keen to tell you their story and keen to teach you.
Yeah.
It's really nice of them, and I think all those thoughts of oh, what if I say something stupid? Or...
Yeah, I think it's definitely made me feel a little bit more confident about the year.
100%.
I guess I sort of had a small sense of dread about self-directing, although that's still been hard.
It is.
I'm still dreading the self-directing.
It is really. Gone are the days where we're just told what to do.
Yeah.
Here at this time and everything. I don't miss that
Yeah.
now. It's just we have to organize our own classes. What is going on?
I know.
That other last patient that we had was oh, do you want to poke and prod me? Feel free to.
Yeah, he was very
I was not
open
prepared to do that, but
no.
yeah.
Even when that gentleman told us that he would show us his scar, and we were like,
are you sure?
Yes. Yes. Oh, tomorrow Kit and I have to get up super early because we're going to be on the ward round for Surge, which is exciting. Our group members also went on theirs today, but we have to get up fucking early.
I did probably have to get up at 5. I don't know about you.
I like to have like 45 minutes to get dressed.
That's true. I take it an hour. I'd probably wake up at 4.
I lied. I take it out.
But we're gonna brush up a bit on our physical examinations because we have to do that tomorrow.
Yeah. We're doing it tomorrow with our group, but we just don't want to embarrass ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't want to embarrass. I keep dragging you down. Like me and Kit don't want to embarrass
They're on the
ourselves.
same boat, really.
Yeah. It's actually sort of nice to be up this early. It's 4:30 and I'm making myself a coffee. And I truly had the worst sleep last night. I think I woke up every hour. Today was a long and exhausting day and it was really fun too. This morning, Kit and I went to our first ward round, which we were obviously really excited about. And what struck me about the ward round was the pace of it. It is so fast moving. So on the ward round, we have the consultant who's like the head guy. And he doesn't always come on the ward round, but he was there today. Then we have registrars, which are a step below the consultants. Then you have residents, and then we have the interns, and then med students. And we went around to every patient bed, and then the registrars spoke to each patient. The interns were writing everything down. The MD4s who were there as well were trying to learn the intern's job because the MD4s are going to be interns next year. And then there was me and Kit who were the MD2s, and we were just watching everything and trying to learn what we could and showcasing our best curtain closing abilities. So then at the end of the ward round, we were asked if we wanted to come to theatre. And Kit and I were obviously really excited. And now I think about it, we were like completely freaking out, which is pretty embarrassing. Excited! Going to theatre is different to scrubbing in. So going to theatre means you're in the room where the surgery is happening, but you're not sterile. So you're standing there and you're observing. And then so scrubbing in is when you make yourself sterile, you wear sterile clothing and gloves, and then you can sometimes be involved with the surgery. The surge team was strongly encouraging that we go to theatre over going to our lectures. So Kit and I just went on our first ward round. And now we get to go to theatre later today, and we were going to have to WAG class to go, but thankfully now we don't have to. Not so thankfully, I was kind of keen to WAG class, but Kit here didn't want to. And so we had our tutes this morning. One of our tutes was peer examination, where we were learning to examine on each other. And it was pretty self-directed, which I actually need more guidance with my examination because last year we obviously weren't in class. So there's a lot of the steps that I feel like very not confident about. And then the second class that we had today was a class called Ethical Practice, which is basically where we talk about different ethics scenarios. Like next week is confidentiality. Today was just intro. And then we can also bring to that class any ethical experiences or dilemmas that we've had in the hospital, and then we talk through it as a group. That was very stressful. I didn't know where anything was. I feel like such a noob. I don't know what I'm doing. Procedure that we saw today was called a right hemicolectomy. So the surgeons were removing the right side of someone's large intestines because they had a cancer there. It was also a laparoscopic procedure. I think I'm saying that right. It was keyhole surgery, and then they had these long pincer tongs, and then most of the procedure was done through that. But it was really cool. Like, I really enjoyed watching it. I thought I was going to be more confronted and put off, but it felt very normal when we got in there. I didn't even feel like at all queasy, which I thought I might, but not at all. I'm not going to see any patients today. I'm just going to hole myself in the library because I've got a lot of the coursework left to do. I haven't even started on this week's lectures yet, so I think it's going to be a long day. This morning we had our BLS lab, which means basic life support. So we're just going over CPR and stuff like that, but using the hospital equipment. And now we've just had lunch and we have to go back and do an assessment for it. The nurse educator is going to watch us do it and make sure we got all the skills down pat and know how to use the defibrillator and all of the equipment that's at the hospital, like the oxygen masks. We just finished our basic life support assessment. So we had to do the CPR 3 times. We had to do it once as the first responder, then once as the second responder, and then once as the third responder. And so like one time you're manning the defib, one time you're doing chest compressions, and the other time you're doing the breathing. And the person who has the first responder position, they had to respond to some questions at the end as well. And because you're out of breath and panting, when she was asking me the questions, I was like, wait, am I anxious or am I tired? Like, I can't tell because I'm just breathing so hard right now. But I think I was just out of breath. And it all went well. She said we worked really well together. And now I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to go over some lectures for this week. And then later today, I have another tute.
So yeah, I better get stuck into it. Even though I knew this was a nothing assessment and not worth anything, just the word assessment is enough to make me a little bit nervous. I just finished a tutorial and it was great because I actually got taught something by someone teaching me instead of me trying to figure it out on my own, which was a welcome relief. This is the class where we get to learn all about clinical examinations. So I'm excited that we actually get taught that because I was worried that we would just have to do it ourselves. And I just wasn't doing a very good job at teaching myself those things. I think everyone else has gone home, but I'm going to stick around and listen to a couple more lectures so that I can relax tonight. And I think I'm getting through them at a pretty good pace. So I think I'll have no work to do by the weekend, which is ideal. Now that I've had more time to process the fact that I went to surgery yesterday, it's kind of freaking me out because we were just in a room where someone was cutting someone open and pulling out part of their intestines. Like, if you think about that, okay, just remove the fact that I was in a hospital from this context. How fucking creepy is that? I literally watched someone slice someone open and then remove their intestines. Like, that's fucked up. And then the anaesthetist, their job, oh my God. When I was watching them, I didn't really register what this was all about. But they are literally dosing this person, and if they dose too little, patient wakes up. What a fucking nightmare. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how you would feel if you were the person responsible for dosing this person the correct dose and you fucked it up and then they woke up in their operation? Oh my God, that would be a fucking nightmare. So that's a huge responsibility. And then also, too much. And we all know what happens if there's too much sedation. Sedated for life. What the hell? What is my life? This is insane. Even just watching that is insane. Good morning. It is actually a really good morning. The weather is really beautiful yet again. I'm looking forward to this morning because we have firstly a practical class that we're going to do in a lab where we're going to learn about aseptic technique. And what that is learning how to use, like, there's little kits full of like gauze and like stuff to clean wounds. There's a special method to use them that involves you not touching any of the sterile stuff. So we have a lab on that today, which I'm excited about because it's going to be practical and there's going to be no assessment, my favorite kind of lab. I'm so glad that it's Thursday today because I'm pretty tired and I am looking forward to the weekend now. So I've just got today with this lab in the morning, and then later on in the day I have ward time. I'm going to try to practice my first exam on a patient because I haven't done that yet and I feel a bit uncomfortable doing it, so I should just do it now at the start of foundation rather than 6 months later. All of the discussion about uni and how much freedom we get and how much we don't like it reminds me of a conversation that I had with a cab driver once, and he was from Africa and we were talking about the politics of Africa. And he was talking about how in his country that he was in Africa, whenever they tried to bring in a democracy, the people didn't like it and they rebelled. And I remember being really confused. I was like, wait, why? I don't understand. And he was explaining to me that they just don't like the change, like the freedom is just too much and they can't handle it. It's just really interesting because it's happening to us right now. No one likes the amount of freedom that we have.
Maybe you've hit your like your P-plates phase.
Yeah.
Where you're just like a little bit overconfident. Like, watch this.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to do a wheelie in the alleyway.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
To press some joggers.
Exactly. So I was having a lovely morning and I was going to go to the grocery store to get some cheese to make a sandwich, and I had my first ever bike accident and I fell on my arm and it really hurt, and now I'm crying. I don't know why I'm crying. Take 2 of today. It's fine. Everything's fine. I haven't been.
Huh?
I haven't been.
Oh!
Yeah. It's not that bad. Today I don't have to go to the hospital. I have a lot of self-directed learning activities that I need to get through. I'm having a bit of a slower start to the day and doing some housework because I've got a bunch of washing I need to get started on, and I also want to clean the house because it's looking pretty dirty. I'm going to do all the laundry, clean the house, go to the gym, and then I'm going to go to the library at a leisurely pace. I'm just about to wash all of my hospital clothes, and I bought this laundry sanitizer. Not sure if it's completely necessary, but it sounded like a good idea. So guys, this is how take 2 of today is going. I came home, I was cleaning up, doing some laundry, and was getting ready to go to the gym. and I couldn't find my headphones. And I was like, where the fuck are my headphones? Looking around, just finished my washing, opened the washing, I washed my headphones. They're not waterproof, guys. They're not waterproof. I'm wondering if I should just quit while I'm behind and just have the day off instead of trying to do any work, because it might just be one of those days where nothing gets done and then I'm like annoyed at myself at the end of the day because I haven't been productive and I haven't relaxed either. I'll give it one more attempt, but if it just seems too hard or if anything else goes wrong, I'm just gonna call it. Call time of death on Friday. Happy Friday, take 3. I am now going to go visit a friend instead. This is not the productive day at the library that I had planned, but I'm excited to see my friend because I haven't seen her in forever. And hopefully that will reset my day a bit and put a positive spin on this morning. How beautiful is Ellie's room? She's definitely the most creative person I know, and she just has an amazing collection of art. They just announced some stage 4 lockdowns, which means we can't leave the house other than to get groceries for the next 5 days. It makes me so happy that I came here instead of going to uni for the day, because I'm just going to be holed up inside for the next week anyway. So now my friend Ellie and I are going to go to a craft store to get some clay. My New Year's resolution this year was to do 5 craft activities in the year. And because we can't do anything on Valentine's Day, like go out for dinner because we're locked down, I thought that making ceramic pots for Valentine's Day might be a cute idea. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would be awesome if you could like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you next time I post.